Hello, the game has started. It's me to go first. Which is a shame. A P would have given me upwardly. I don't have a bingo. And the UW combo, pretty ropey and certainly needs to be split up. I've got the LY ending. Gosh, this is a tricky opening rack. It's balanced and no duplicates, but no standout plays. You can get rid of the U and the W with war and wall, keeping dry. I'm thinking of playing Drawley to turn over tiles and get the Y doubled. Drawley for 34. Okay, well, not a terrible rack. I've got a scoring tile in the F. AUF is good and would leave a good rack leave. Now, the dictionary which ISC plays to has been updated from CSW 21 to CSW 24, which will be valid in tournament play from the beginning of 2025. So there are between 500 and 1,000 new words available, which I looked at for the first time yesterday on the flight back from Malta. So we'll see if any get played in this game, and I'll try and draw your attention to them if they are. There's no new 2s, and maybe 10 new 3s, the most noticeable of which is UWU. Now Alf plays above the D of Drawley, getting the F doubled. That's quite nice. What if that's blocked? Well, firstly, do I have an 8 through any of these floaters? Oh, wow. 78-point play for opponent. Is that a double-double? Yes, it is. Fortunately, the F is a blank, so only 78 points. Could have been a lot higher. But I was going through the floaters in Drawley looking for an 8, and I can't see one. What about the S? Ultra safe with an S and an L. No, not seeing anything. So how can I get a value from the F? My ALF spot remains available. The F would get tripled next to the A of C floor, but I can't play off the U as well, and I want to do that. So ALF for 26. Now, this looks a lot more promising. I have Tanager, which plays in row F, Tanagers in row D. And I think that's about it. So what if both of those are blocked? Oh, wow. 68 points for opponent. Fortunately, they don't block my bingo. So Tanagers for 72. And I have a good scoring tile in the J, which can go above the A of Tanagers. And also I've got Raj getting the J tripled, so this game not over. No new spots for the J, but there are 2 available. Interesting, I've got J-toe across here for 45 points, keeping T. Raj for 8 more points, keeping these duplicates. But the J-toe play, well, puts OR underneath a triple letter square, and quite a few big tiles can go above that. B, C, F, K. Yeah, so I think Raj is preferable. Any alternatives I haven't considered? What about Taj here? Only 35, that's not better. Yeah, I'm going with Raj for 53. And I draw another scoring tile, which is handy because my rack leave was pretty non-bingo-y. I either like to bingo or have scoring tiles. The worst racks are all 1 and 2 pointers where you have no bingo. Now, where can I get value from the K? There's KAY is good, KA is good, so row C looks promising. Nothing I've got goes in front of NU. I don't have a vowel to go above the G, so I can't get value from this A. Getting the K to score twice. Now I have an O for zoo and an E for RE, but that's where the story ends. Add takes an O. Now, AYE is good. I think Keat is the best I've seen. Keat and I. What if that's blocked? Anything through the G. I don't have to play the K, but I'm going to struggle to score if I don't. An opponent blocks my Keat spot, which is a shame. Wow, that is a shame. Nay only takes an S. Still 3 S's to come, and C-floor takes an S. And look at this, just 3 points between us, despite opponent's hot start. Jack is good. 25 points, keeping these duplicates still. That's not great. Do I have anything ending OE? 12 points. Gosh. Well, opponent's player Van has really scuppered me. Keat would have really helped to improve this rack. I've got Keto here, but only 14 points. However, it is sorting the rack out. So maybe this is the play. Only an O goes in front of the K, and that prevents a big tile getting doubled. Any play in row H would provide floaters. Mind you, we're level and I'm on turn, so I have the tempo. But I also need to sort this rack out. Whiz doesn't take anything after it. Yep, I'm going with this. Wow. I draw the Q. But Q does not go well with E's, and I've got 3 of them. 2 U's to come, a whole bunch of I's. I haven't drawn an O for OK. I haven't drawn a vowel for going above the G. Just trying to remember one of the new words, which I'm close to having on my rack, but it's gepick with a K, not a Q. G-E-P-I-K. Great. Opponent not zooming off. Is this a rack to change with? Well, firstly, what can I do with QI? I can play chi and key, so I think straight away that is better than changing, because the P is going to help get rid of the E's on the next turn. Anywhere else for the Q? 14 minutes on my clock. I don't think so. So only 17 points, but I am getting rid of the Q. Well, lots of scoring tiles. Opponent's taken the hot spot above the G of tanagers to put big tiles on these double letter squares. Key takes an S in front, still 3 of them to come. I don't have anything to go after ZO. I don't have an I for QI. And I'm not seeing anywhere great for any of my scoring tiles. So here's the opponent going to provide something. 44 points. Well, sort of. I've got hex for over 20. Aha, I have something even better. I have hep for 32, which is really handy. I'm just wondering whether PEH would be better. It's a matter of how dangerous or how easy it is for opponent to put tiles above EX. Well, only Axe plays here, 2 A's to come. Only an A can go above HA. What can go above HI? Just an A. I don't think this is worth dwelling on. So hep for 32. Now, is Epidote good? If it is, it plays in row K because of Chi and Skid. What am I thinking of? Does Poetized have an anagram of epidotes? Not sure. How about this H? Not seeing anything. I do at least have an I for QI and a D for Skid, which I may be able to play even if Epidote goes, but is invalid. Great, just 19 for opponent, so I trail by 30. Let's see if this stays on. And it does, 90 points. Fantastic. And I draw U and W. Is there a U for Uwu? No, not yet. And I don't have an A for AW, that would have been cool. I have wood on my rack, and one of the new words is wooder, wood with an A at the end. Gosh, once I see epidote written down, it seems quite obvious that it is a word, but I had my doubt at the time. So not a great rack, but I have a scoring tile in the W, and I have a lead. Still one blank to come, still 2 S's to come, and Epidote has taken out the danger, or heavily restricted the danger of a 7-letter play ending in S, pluralising seafloor. Nothing goes in front of PI. So I could just stick my W above Wex. This is the sort of rack where you're looking to score north of 20 rather. Now opponent's played 40 points, my lead only 20. There is an A for wooder, but only 12 points, so probably not best. However, it would turn over tiles, it would take out bingo floaters. Opponent needs to bingo more than me. Well, it's sticking an O above this double letter square, so it's setting up a super hot row O spot, so I'm not going to do that. What am I going to do? Do I really have nothing in column 1? I don't think wheeled is good. Wheedle takes an H, or is only with an H. That's a shame. No N or S for chin and skids. 11 minutes on my clock. Jaw is good. So I could play W-E-Y. But all these bingo-y tiles, bingo-y floaters rather. Anything ending in R or beginning with R. Well, yeah, I have Weldor. 22 points. I'm not too bothered about the vowels. Vowels increase in value as you approach the end game. And vowels are generally more valued these days than previously. Let me count the remaining vowels. 12 out of 32. So vowel dry, so this is fine. Yep, I'm going with well-door. So fairly balanced rack. Do I have anything? Now, is auberge good? I think it is. I don't think it plays. But I think auberge is good. Oh, wow, look at that. Blondish, 86 points, and there goes the second blank. So I now trail by 45. And nowhere for auberge. 13 tiles to come. I don't have anything with A or N. Just looking at the S's, are they all red? Wow, opponent with 4 S's and 2 blanks. You think the probability of that is fairly low, but it seems to happen way more than the statistics would suggest. However, that's not to make any aspersions. What to do here? Well, turning over tiles to get a blank, that strategy no longer applies. I think I need a bingo to win. 9 minutes on my clock. I'm looking in column 1. Do I have a 30-point play? Although I don't want to turn over a lot of tiles, these aren't great tiles to keep. No, I'm not seeing anything. So, what about this? 32 points. I am providing a new floater. However, the N is available for an Asian ending word, and I've got the last A. There are T's, I's, an O, and an N to come. Opponent may struggle to block auberge without providing 2 letter sets, which could create a 9-letter play. There's the floating O of hog. I think these are desperate times, and the opportunity of scoring over 30 points, especially in the absence of any S's to pluralise it, means that this does give me a slender hope of catching opponent even without a bingo. So I'm going with this. Wow, pretty grim. Scoring tile in the F. Can't see a way of getting that doubled. If is good. D-nay is good. So I actually have EF in row B for a decent score, and I currently only trail by 13. Opponent may take a lowly score just to block the floating E. They certainly can't get a big score because no big tile can go on this double letter square under the R. 3 tiles in the bag. Now, opponent's gone. Where have they played? Elven, 27 points. So I trail by 40. Okay, they played that before I spotted the number of tiles left. So they left alone this floating E. 3 tiles left. Well, that's good because it means I can play 2 tiles, leaving 1 in the bag. And this is 35 points. Pretty hopeless with 3 T's. But what are my options? If I play EF, I'm not bingoing with 3 T's. Except I will be able to play AT. So So this A could be useful. Feck's not good, but Tex is. 22 points. Yeah, let's see what happens. Opponent cannot score very much with auberge. They may get a lowly score. I can then play AT. Well, and we'll see what happens. So F for 35. And I draw another scoring tile in the M. Will that be critical? Now, remaining tiles, slightly bingo-y. There could be a bingo through this E. But look at this, I only trail by 5. I've got the AT spot. I'm probably not going out with double I, double T, but after I play AT, I'm still retaining the M for score. So I could have two 20-plus point scores in me. One tile in the bag. Opponent might play... Well, what do they have? They could play Mew. 16 points. And that would leave them with 6 tiles. Oh, 28 points. Nice score. Yeah, and a nice strategy as well, because now there's a very good chance they can go out with ERU. Your is good, so let me... 6 minutes on my clock. Let me have a look for outs for opponent. Rune doesn't play. Nothing with the O. Euro and Rue are the anagrams. Nothing with the B. Auberge only takes an S. Nothing underneath Weldor. Nothing beginning with N. And opponent would not have known what was in the bag. They played off 5 tiles and picked 1, so they haven't planned an out with these tiles. Ecru, but EEO isn't good. I trail by 33. Interesting, my M can go next to this O. Let me have a look at this score. I don't want to play the A, but that's 24 points. 4 minutes on my clock. That's 22. Yeah, if I play MI, then opponent can play Rue and MIR, so I've got to be very careful about playing in column 13, so I'd much rather play AT first. 22, 449, I'd trail by 11, but I'm not going out in 1. If opponent can't go out in 1, and I can go out in 2, I think it would be jolly close. But how do I go out in 2 with this rack? Well, there may be a way, but does it score enough? Titman is good for 9 points, 436. I don't think I'm going to score enough with IT. Is there another out in 2? Mart for 24, and then TT is good, but does it play? $24.51. If I had an out for TT, this might be the winning play. Three minutes on my clock. This may all be for nothing if opponent has spotted an out. I just haven't seen it. So what am I missing? Miri is good, but that then leaves tat, which is a word but doesn't play. I'm just looking at the rows in order, just 2 minutes on my clock. Nut is good. Can't see a way of setting up a spot which only I can use. £14. Nope, not going out with that. Emit, good, but WI isn't. No, this isn't looking promising. I'm going with AT, and then I'll play next to the O if it remains available. I trail by 11, but I think that's going to be too much. So has opponent spotted an out? And is MI my best option? No, opponent does not have an out. Wow. And if I had the tiles for Titman, that now would play and get more points. Opponent's got a U. Are they definitely going out with the U? OU at the top. UN at the bottom. So opponent's going out. MI for 24. Yeah, that's going to put me into the lead, but it's not enough. 1 minute on my clock. Is there any way of eking out slightly more points? That's 24. What's Miri? 24. Slightly better because I'm turning over one more tile. 24, 4, 73. I'm going to trail by 2, but give up 4 on count back, so not quite enough. I'm going with this. So close. Yep. And the final score, 473 to me, 479 for opponent, a winning margin of 6 points, so well done to opponent. Let's see what I missed. Wow, what a close one. Could I have done anything about it? So this was my opening rack. I played Drawley. And opponent's opening rack, and wow, very hard one to spot, but they found it. Seafloor for 78. Phew, no missed bingo here, and Ow for 26 was my play. Opponent with the Z, and a great spot for it. So I trail by 80, but I have a bingo. D4 Tanagers, Tagarine also playable, that's nice. And opponent plays U. And now I have a high scoring tile and can get over 50 points. Opponent's rack, they play Van. And this was a tricky one. Wasn't sure what was best here. Didn't like keeping double E and double T. So I went with Keto, keeping double ET. So I sacrificed 11 points to avoid having O and T. Tricky. F12 key. Yeah, that doesn't give anything up really. In fact, Jack takes an E and I'd be retaining some, so possibly key was better there. Opponent plays Hog. Now I4 keep down from the K for 20, keeping QI. Well, I think I prefer playing QI for just 3 fewer points. Now, great rack for opponent, blank and 2 S's, so they can burn 1 S on the ski spot and get value from the X. So that was a perfect rack for opponent. However, I only trail by 40. And I have Hep and Pay in the same spot. Oh wow, they score differently. How is that possible? Oh, there must be a sneaky double letter square under this P. Yeah, so Pay would have been the better play. Opponent plays Fab. And now my hopes were raised. I have Epidote for 90, and I go into the lead. Missed bingo, Channers. Opponent plays Scran. So it's either a missed bingo or they see 41 points, and that's only 21 less than the bingo. So I think on score and Ratcliffe, Scran is better. And now I still lead. What do? I play Weldor for 22, which I was quite pleased to see. Yeah, and look at the Ratcliffes. All of these Ratcliffes are pretty awful, whereas I am retaining just a U. M8 Roweld turning over. I'm keeping E and U. So I think Roweld would have been better, getting rid of one more vowel. Now, super rack for opponent. A choice of bingos, including top of the shop, Blondish for 86. So I now trail by 45 and only 13 tiles in the bag. I play Auberge for 32 and trail by 13. This is where opponent plays Alvin. So now, with 3 tiles in the bag, was there a win? I trail by 40. I play EF for 35. I guess Feet for 29, although it's 6 fewer points, is getting rid of one of the 3 T's. However, it is emptying the bag, making it possible for opponent to plan an out in 2, and with these tiles, I'm fairly confident they could do that. So I think F is the right play. Opponent plays Coming, which was the best play, difficult to spot. Now, I trail by 33, opponent's got URE. Is there any hope at all? Well, not with Imari and keeping 3 T's. I think the only route to victory is an out in 2 from this position, since opponent doesn't appear to have one. And none of these Ratcliffes suggest an out in 2. These are the TT and TAT Ratcliffes, but I couldn't see anywhere for them. So I play At for 22. And, well, opponent does have an out. M11, a rune through the N of Coming, and Rube through the B of Auberge. So I was in a situation where I was guaranteed to lose unless the opponent made a mistake. Well, they did make a mistake, but it wasn't a big enough one for me to capitalise on, because I have nothing better than Miri for 24. And finally, opponent goes out with OU. But wow, what a game. Just 6 points between us, and the opponent got off to a fantastic start with Seafloor and Wiz, but I was able to come back with Tanagers and Epidotes to take the lead. But then a fantastic final bingo of Blondish enabled opponent to nudge ahead, and that's how it remained. So super exciting stuff. Many thanks and to opponent, and congratulations to them on their victory. I hope you enjoyed watching that game. Like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you next time.